Yo, what's up, babies? It's your boy Tiger here, and welcome to another f- magic episode that we're going to be talking about. This time, it's going to be legendary creatures that we like. Now, they don't have to be commanders, they could be in the 99. And I will say, the reason that we are doing this is because if you remember from the pet card episode, I had a bunch of these legendary creatures in there. But then I was like, oh wait, I'm a certified titty boy, and I love milking this shit. So I decided to just make a whole new episode about legendary creatures. We're just gonna be talking about five, maybe an honorable mention. Just like last time, I have my friend here, Ghost. He's gonna be with me this episode as well. So you could go ahead and introduce yourself again.
What's going on? Lastly, Ghost here. Glad to be here with you, man. Talking about legendary creatures in both senses of the word. Because not only are these actual legendary creatures, but the ones that I have on my list, I would rock any day. I would not switch up on them. Most of these are my day ones.
Now, before we go into it, like I said, it's gonna be a small list. It's gonna be about five, and then we have honorable mentions. So let's just get the honorable mentions out of the way. You start us off with, because you have two, but I'll show in a bit why you started off with two.
All right. So honorable mention. For me, it's gonna be he's right, two cards, but they're really one card because you have to play them both, and if you don't, you're not a true you're not a true MTG fan. The cards I'm speaking about are Gisela, the Broken Blade, and Bruna, the Fading Light from Eldritch Moon. Now, if you're unaware, Gisela, the Broken Blade is two generic and two white with flying, first strike, lifelink. Um, Great stat body. It's a 4/3, so it's a flying 4/3. It always hits first and always gives you life. It's a decent card. It's a mythic. I can understand why it's mythic. Good for combat. It's good in a mid-range white deck, or it's an aggressive piece. And then after that, we have a little bit of a worse piece. It's Bruna the Fading Light. It's 5 and 2 white, and when you cast Bruna, you may return target angel or human from your graveyard to the battlefield with flying and vigilance 5/7. So it is a recursion piece mostly. It is a 5/7 body with flying and vigilance, which is a great stat body, but for 7 mana, you kind of have to really dump all your current mana into it. However, these two cards interact in a very special way, in a very fun way that I understand has been done since Eldritch Moon. I think with the Urza from the Urza with the Might Stone and the Weak Stone. But Gisela had an additional block of text with at the beginning of your end step, if you both own and control Gisela the Broken Blade and a creature named Bruna the Fading Light, then meld them into Brisella Voice of Nightmares. So you cast Bruna. You had Gisela die earlier in the game. You casted her turn 4. She died. Someone doombladed her. Oh no! You cast Bruna. Bring her back from the graveyard. Then at the end of that turn, you end up unsleeving. You put them together to make Brisella Voice of Nightmares. It's flying, first strike, vigilance, lifelink, and your opponents can't cast spells with converted mana cost 3 or less. This is crazy. I love crazy things like that. I love the meld mechanic. Eldritch Moon was really fun. I'm really sad I didn't get to draft it. I just was too young at the time. Um, it's just a crazy card. You have to get two things, and you make a big thing, and it's hard to interact with because most kill spells are 3 or less. It has first strike, vigilance, and lifelink, and flying, so it's hard to block. It's just great. I actually love this card. Now, the reason it's an honorable mention for me is because I tried and tried and tried to make this work in a commander deck, either by having Gisela or Bruna as the commander. And it could never work because they don't have partner. Sadly, you have to just put it in the deck and hope you find it or have a creature tutor, but you're locked into mono white, so you don't really have those. You have enchantment tutors and stuff like that. You just have a lot of recursion in white. So what I did do later in life, much much later, I ran these in high school on Commander. I ended up running these in a Pioneer deck, and if you're unaware, Pioneer is another format in Magic: The Gathering, where it's almost like It's a mini modern. You have everything from a certain set to the most current set. Only difference is they have the fetch lands banned and other stuff, so it's an easier way to get into the game with cheaper cards. My main deck was a mono white control deck with 3 Brunas and 4 Gisellas. And my game plan was to control the board, get rid of their creatures, tap down their, put a enchantment on their creature, stick it onto my land, make them not be able to hit me and kill me, and then eventually just push out Bruna and Giselle at the same time, and then they honestly won me the game. It's a very fun deck. I didn't run it for very long, sadly, because Pioneer is sadly on the wayside. Wish it would pick up again. Pioneer is really fun. But this is my honorable mention, and I will fight for this card every day.
Yeah, this is such a fun card. Not fun to go against because, like he said, it has flying, first strike, vigilance, lifelink. You can't cast spell, or well, your opponents can't cast spells with converted mana cost 3 or less, and it's a 9/10. You can't. Well, I mean, we talked about it in the pet cards, but like, you can't tragic slip this because you can't cast the card. You can't bounce it. You can't into the flood maw. You can't, like he said, the kill spells, anguished unmaking or whatever. It's just hard to interact with. You got to spend more. You got to pump more mana to get rid of this. But yeah, this is a fun honorable mention. I did tell him to bring an honorable mention, and I knew he was gonna bring these two cards for me. It was a no-brainer. But let me start off with my honorable mention here, which is Atraxa Praetor's Voice.
Ah,
Now, the reason the whole reason I wanted to honorable mentions is because I just couldn't really all the cards I wanted to put. This for sure is a card that I wanted to show off because I like Atraxa and yeah, I'm not creative. For sure I made Infect with this. Everybody does. But the reason why I liked it so much is because I remember that Ghost here gave me one that he had as a gift and I still have it. So that's why
oh yeah.
it's just sentimental as a gift. I like the card. People build it slow, but I've managed to speed it up with Flux Channeler and a bunch of non-creature spells that I could just pump out and make sure to proliferate. Especially with Phyrexia All will be one with the cards that gives everybody a poison counter. It is a deck that I like. It's just quick and simple. A friend gave it to me. A friend that I like. Oh man, cherish you, man.
Hell yeah, brother. Me too. Me too, bro. Let's start with a card that I don't think should be in the 99, but I think it's a really, or I don't think it should be a commander, but I think it's a really good in the 99. We have a Universes Beyond pick, which I know is a little touchy. I know some people hate it, some people have no opinions, and some people love Universes Beyond. I have no connection to this Universes Beyond because it is Boromir, Warden of the Tower. It's from the Lord of the Rings set. I haven't watched the movies. I haven't
You're
played any
missing
of
out,
the
man.
games. I haven't read the books. I know I am. I know I'm missing out. And I will watch them. I'm not saying I'm not gonna, and I'm not shitting on the series, but I have no connection to this card. So this is the only thing I'm viewing this card as is a Magic card. And as a Magic card for 3 mana for 2 and 1 white, it's a 3/3 with vigilance, and whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. That already in a game of Commander, even if it's not in the command zone in the 99, it's a really good control piece. I know Zorius decks run this card, but I think it goes in mono white decks, the Mardu decks, any deck that runs white. If you have a spare slot or you have a card you're realizing isn't what you thought it was, like it isn't good playing it, I suggest Boromir because it's an excellent control piece. It gets rid of Force of Wills, Force of Negations, Pacts of Negation, Summoner's Pact. It gets rid of all that. But in the higher power tables, this card kind of goes crazy if it's not removed fast enough, which usually it ends up being the target of removal, which is a knock against the card. But I think it's great. And there's also another effect, another thing you can do with it. If you have it on the field, so you cast it, you can sacrifice Boromir, and creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn, and then the ring tempts you. I don't know what the ring tempts you means. I know it's the mechanic from the set. I didn't play the Lord of the Rings set. But an instant speed sacrifices creatures you control gain indestructible. That's excellent protection against a board wipe. There are hardly any exile board wipes. There's Descend Upon the Sinful, Merciless Eviction, and Farewell. Those are the three big ones that come to mind. Yeah, this is a excellent control, not just a control piece, but excellent thing at keeping your creatures alive. The people that know about this card already know about it, how good it is. I want to get it out there more. I think it's a great card that should be run more in more than just white and blue decks.
Yeah, this is a very defensive card with the whole your opponent. Basically, their spells get countered if they spent no mana. So all their free spells or free counters to interaction that they probably Deadly Rollick, Deflecting Swat, stuff like that. I know it's higher leveled, but I mean it gets the job done. So, or for sure, people that are probably playing again higher level, their Underworld Breeze, trying to get their loops with the Lion's Eye Diamond, just can't no more because it's just going to get count. You're not wasting anything. That's the thing. You're not wasting. The
Yeah,
creature's just there. So
yeah,
them
it's a
having to
it's a three
waste,
three with vigilance.
yeah. So them for
It can also just kind of attack for you
it
if
can
you don't need
attack.
it.
You can just keep it there, and they have to waste the whole interaction piece before they can continue. But since you're probably playing other color combinations, you also have some other cards too as well. Stop your opponents from advancing or continue, going on. But yeah, this is a fine little pick for the Mardu decks or the white like two color decks that don't have access to counter spells. Now this is a card that I got. This is a card that I've pretty much got when the set was released back at the time. Went to go just buy some packs at the store. Didn't really try to chase for anything and got this miraculously in like around 5 packs. And here we have the Scarab God. This is from Finale of Devastation. No. Yes? Finale
Hour of
Devastation?
Devastation.
Our Devastation? Our. This is
Pretty
from.
sure it's Hour of Devastation.
Here we have the Scarab God, legendary creature. It's a god, of course, for 3, a blue and a black for a 5/5. And it says at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses X life, and you scry X, where X is the number of zombies you control. It also has, for 2, a blue and a black, you can exile target creature card from a graveyard and create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. It has a lot of text, but it also says when the Scarab God dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. This does a lot. This is, well, it can be used as a commander. It's also great for the 99 and zombies. If you're wondering what Scry is pretty much looking at the top. So it just really depends how many zombies you have. Everybody loses life. You get to manipulate what you're going to draw, what you're going to get. And at instant speed as well, you can exile target card not just from your graveyard, but from a graveyard. So someone's playing like a Jund deck, trying to get their stuff into the graveyard, entomb, reanimate. You can instant speed just snipe something out and bring it into your field.
Yeah, this is a really fun card. I remember you having this deck. It's a little more on the expensive side, which is why I never really tried to build with it as a commander. Like price wise, back then it was kind of pricey. I don't know the price now. Also mana value wise, because 5 mana is a little rough
It's a
because
little hefty, yeah.
it's a little hefty. But yeah, no, you can't beat the last ability because even if someone kills it or destroys it, as long as it's not exiled, it just comes back, dude.
Yeah, exactly. It just goes back to your hand. That's enough of the Scarab God. Let's just put him to the side. Let's start about a card that you like right here. A card that I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really seen at all. We have Saskia the Unyielding.
Yeah, so this is my sentimental like pick for sure. There's another card that has a lot of sentimentality that I'm gonna talk about later, but this one has the most. Because I got this card when I moved out of my parents' house. I went to a game store in the local town and I saw this pre-con. This was 2020. These commander sets, this little Saskia came in 2016. It was a interesting deck because I saw 4 colors. Had never seen a 4 color pre-con. Bought it, had a ton of fun with it. Will always remember this as a fun deck. Saskia the Unyielding is black, red, green, white, no blue. It's a legendary creature. It's a human soldier and has vigilance and haste. And as it enters the battlefield, choose a player. So you cast it, you choose someone. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, it deals that much damage to the chosen player. This is Group Slug with green and white. That's how the precon was. It was a very fun deck. It's an interesting card, quite honestly, because if you guys don't know, 4-color commanders aren't ever printed, especially nowadays. It's always 5-color or 3-color because 4-color commanders have a hard time putting an identity to with R&D, because it's hard to only keep one thing out. It's easier to just keep multiple things out. This deck is really fun. It for me it would performed relatively well for a precon, and I upgraded it and it still performed relatively well. I do want to build it again in a better light. But yeah, dealing damage to other players, it's a little crazy. It's you hit someone else with the 10-10, someone else takes that 10 damage. And in the last pet card video, I put Tainted Strike in here because that creature also deals that much damage to the other player, so you can take 2 people out if you hit him with an infect creature. A super fun commander. I wish 4-color commanders got more printed, but I understand why not. What do you think about it?
I think it's a fun card. Someone can have an entire board and you could be like, oh, I'm just gonna attack someone that's, because it happens, someone gets left behind. They don't have the best hand, they don't have the best draws, they can't really advance their board state, and if they do, it's not much. It's probably a creature
Yeah,
too. It does feel like bullying, but like, hey, we're here to win. Even though we
yeah,
are friends, we are still here to win though. So you can hit someone, the most vulnerable player, yeah, it sucks, but it's the only way I could probably take out the player that I chose, and that player probably, pushed out a bunch of cards that they have, a bunch of
yeah,
creatures and everything. So, yeah, this gets the job done. So that way you don't really have to focus on one in a way, because you could take out two birds, one stone, you know? So this is my sentimental card, because this is probably one of the first ones that I actually built. This is Thraximundar. This is a legendary creature. It's a zombie assassin. You get a 6/6, but you have to spend 4 and then Grixis. You have to spend 7 mana. That is a lot that you have to dump out for this creature. It does have haste, so I mean, hey, it can attack the same turn that it is summoned. But it also says whenever Thraximundar attacks, defending player sacrifices a creature. It also says whenever a player sacrifices a creature, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Thrax. So it's essentially a 7/7 for 7 mana if you could get him out. This is, like I said, sentimental because when I actually started building Commander, like I said, I fell in love with zombies, fell in love with Grixis, and when I saw this card, this was the one. This one was the Commander for me. It is janky, for sure. It is a lot of mana to dump in, so it kind of leaves you tapped out, and people can just kill spell it. You can't really do nothing. But I mean, for something that's a little bit more casual, this is just really fun. This is actually more fun if you have like what Grave Pact or like I think it's Dictate of Erebos.
oh yeah, it's Dictator Erebos.
Yeah, start playing zombies, start sacrificing your stuff, forcing your opponents to sacrifice stuff, kind of controlling, because that's what you want to do in a zombie deck, especially with like Gravecrawler. But yeah, this is something really fun. I really wish I could build it again. But thank you for banning Jeweled Lotus. But is there anything else you want to put in here?
No, yeah, this is a very fun card. I noticed the printing, I believe, is the same printing I actually remember you having, Commander 2013. Man, this is a
Yes.
throwback for sure, dude.
Yes, yes, it's such
Yeah,
such an old card.
yeah, this is an oldie card, but it's a goodie card, dude. It's a very oppressive piece. If you can turn it out, turn 6 or turn 5, given you have mana rocks and stuff. With a 6/6 body, it's hard to block, and even if you try to block before it's an attack trigger, you have to sacrifice before you can block. Yeah, it's a great piece, great commander. It's honestly, I can get behind it. I get the love for it.
Tell me about the next commander that you have here.
Yeah, so previously I had stated I'm unaware with the Lord of the Rings universes beyond. I have never watched any of the Lord of the Rings movies. This is the exact opposite of that. I am a Fallout fan. I love Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4. I haven't played 1 and 2 yet. I really want to, but I haven't yet. This is Craig Boone, Novak Guard. It is one and one Boros, so one and one red and one white. It has reach and lifelink, and the effect is one for my baby, which is his follower quest name. Whenever you attack with two or more creatures, put two quest counters on Boone. When you do, Boone deals damage equal to the number of quest counters on it up to one target creature unless that creature's controller has Craig Boone deal that much damage to them. So, if you're unaware, if you haven't played New Vegas, Boone is a guy you can meet shortly after starting the game. He's a sniper, that's his whole thing. He sits up in a dinosaur mouth at night, he kills people trying to hurt the town he lives in. So, once you help him out, once you figure out who did something to his wife, he's like, I don't want to be here no more. I'll just go with you. And that's what he does. So you have him for the whole game, he's chill. I love this card because it captured the essence of Boone perfectly. Lifelink, I don't really know what that's about. I don't know what the lifelink's about, but Reach for sure, because if you pay attention to the small, like, one mana archers in green color, those are always green. Archers always have reach because that's like their whole thing. Archers constantly can reach up. I think there's some archers in red too. Boone has reach because he can snipe. He is the archer of Novak, which is where he guards. And I love the mechanic because if you swing with two or more creatures, he doesn't even have to swing. That's not an attack trigger from him. He can just sit in the back like a sniper. He sits in the back, you swing for two. Oh no, the creature's gonna get shocked. Okay, alright, fine, whatever. It's just a shock, right? I'll take the 2 damage. Next combat, you swing for two. Oh, that's 4 damage. That creature's kind of important. I'll take it. Next damage. Oh, I gotta kill that Craig Boone guy sitting in the back. He's not attacking. I can't kill him with combat, so I gotta either burn him out or exile him or just cast a kill spell. He's great. I love the flavor of this card. It's perfect. The effect, it's not a bad creature. It's an uncommon. It honestly, it could be a commander. I wouldn't put it in a commander deck. I wouldn't use it as a commander. I'd put it in the 99. Um, but I love the flavor. The art is honestly great. I love the art. It's not the strongest card. It's not gonna win you any games crazily, but it's gonna be nice to be able to just pick creatures off that you can see, and it's honestly a fun card. I really wish I could play it. Don't have it, so I need to go find it. But I love this card. It's great.
Like I said, this is my first time seeing this card, what it does, so thank you for explaining it. Of course, it has reach because it has a gun. Lifelink, I don't know, man. Look,
Yeah,
I love Fallout 2. I'm pretty sure you were one of the people that also introduced me to the game. So it was really nice seeing Fallout come into the Universe Beyond. Like you said before, some people love them, some people hate them, some don't care. I loved it. I thought they did a great job. They really did
yeah,
capture Craig right here, especially what he's supposed to be doing. So honestly, yeah, you know what? I'm very glad that you brought this card in. Very glad for the whole. It fits his character. They did him justice.
yeah. They really did. I love it.
Now I have a card that does the exact opposite of justice. This card commits war crimes. Here we have Ululek, Fuse Atrocity. Now, Ululek here was from the Modern Horizons 3 Precons. This is a 5 mana commander. It is all 5 colors. It is white, blue, black, red, green, or you could spend colorless instead. So like super easy to get out. This is insanely easy to get out. And you get a Eldrazi legendary creature that's a 2/5, which also has the void. So that's cool. I don't know what if you're gonna target it, but I mean, no kill spells just say kill. They don't really care about the color no more. But it
Yeah,
says whenever you cast an Eldrazi spell, you may pay 2 colorless. Specifically 2 colorless, not just generic mana. It has to be colorless. It has to be like from a Soul Ring or whatever. But it says if you do, copy all spells you control. Then copy all other activated and triggered abilities you control. You may choose new targets for the copies. Now this is something that you probably need some flash enablers like Pytrate Fix, Trickster, or there was this one 4 mana artifact. Don't worry, I'll just show the card. And then one of the I think Heliod. Not Sungfrown, but it was the other one that you could flip and it gives your spells flash. So you do have to work with flash. Cast Eldrazi's, you probably do have to ramp a bunch of mana. Or you could just, I mean, you could just play an Eldrazi, pay an extra two, what, an Ulamog to exile two permanents, and then you could pay two and make a copy. Yeah, it'll die because of the legend rule, but not just those legendary Eldrazi. You can make pretty much any Eldrazi with. God, I should have came more prepared. You know the artifact that makes like all of your creatures every creature type?
Yeah.
That one. Don't worry, future target. Put the image there. I'll worry. I'll worry about this when I actually get to the point of editing. Like here is. Oh man, I fucked up big time. Like here is such a fun card that I like. Uh, I'm not a modern player. I haven't played anything else. I've played 60 card formats, but it was just casual playing with friends, so we weren't really into standard, into modern, legacy, yada yada. But even then, I can acknowledge it didn't really make sense to make a Commander Precon and a modern type theme, but I mean, I still got it. So like, can I really say that I didn't like it if I still got it? But just like zombies, I really loved Eldrazi. Very chaotic. It is not the best in terms of commanders or just cards, especially like the higher level that you play. But it's very fun to just bring out, and then everyone's like, "Oh yeah, no, this dude gets no hose." But hey, man, it's whatever. But I mean, like I said, you could play flash things, so you could play rocks, you could play enchantments or whatever. But then when you cast an Eldrazi spell, then you copy all other spells. It doesn't copy only Eldrazi spells.
Oh, I see. That's actually super cool.
But
That's
again,
interesting.
oh yeah, it's just setup that you have
Yeah.
to get. But I mean, it's just a fun card. I really do like it. So there we have our three that we like. Let's talk about the stronger cards that we had here, or I guess, fuck me. Do you want to start us off, Ghost, with one of these two cards?
Yeah.
It's fine which one
Yeah.
you bring up.
I sure can. All right. So the higher power, not high power, higher power than what we've been talking about. This is going to be stronger than Boone, the Seskia, Boromir. It's going to be stronger than the Angels. Is Edric, Spymaster of Trest. So for one green and one blue, so 3 mana total, whenever a creature deals combat damage to a player, or one of your opponents, yeah, whenever it deals damage to one of your opponents, its controller may draw a card. So now you may be thinking, yeah, it's a 3 mana 2/2 that whenever you swing with the creature and have to deal combat damage, then you can draw a card. That's what kind of card do you talk about? This isn't higher power. It's whenever a creature deals damage to an opponent. So when you immediately, as soon as you cast this, it has an effect on the board because first thing you notice is, oh hey, I have a creature that I haven't swung with. He casted it. It won't have summoning sickness on my turn, but I can't hit him because I won't draw a card. But the guy to my right's open. I can hit him and draw a card. So immediately, as soon as you cast it, it's a politic piece, and people throw around the word politic like, "Oh, I love Commander for the politics." What they really love doing is just making shitty deals and then going back on them halfway in the game. This is an actual politics piece because it changes the state of the game and changes the way everyone plays. Everyone plays around it, and it's almost, it's perfect. I love this card. Um, I do have this commander deck online. I haven't built it in person yet, but I really, really want to. I have some of the pieces sitting here actually because I'm slowly building it. What I function and pilot this deck as is I just fill it with small unblockable creatures and small evasive creatures. So small flyers, this cloaked spy or invisible stalker. He can't be blocked. It's a 2 mana 1/1. So guess what? You swing at three different opponents with three unblockable creatures, you draw three cards. That's insane. That's crazy. And no one is like, okay, fine, yeah, he's drawing a lot of cards, but all he has is a bunch of 1/1s. I'm just gonna ignore it for now, even though you shouldn't ignore anyone drawing a lot of cards. Drawing cards is power in Commander. But I've had it happen before where they're just like, yeah, he drew three cards. He only dealt one damage to me though. There's a guy to my right that has a whole board. I'm gonna deal with that first. Then at some point you realize your hand full your hand is full of extra turn spells, and that's how I ran it. So I would swing with 1/1s, draw a shit ton of cards, and then, oh yeah, I'm gonna chain extra spells and just keep dealing damage slowly because I'm gonna keep drawing cards, keep drawing those extra spells, and then eventually I'm gonna have enough damage on people that didn't pay attention to me to either cast a game ender like Craterhoof Behemoth where everything gets bumped and I can just swing all out, or I just have enough chip damage. That's happened before where I just slowly keep chipping away at people's life totals and they notice early and just don't think about it, or they just catch it too late. Uh, this is an unassuming piece, and I understand from like Reddit posts I can like look at back when this card was a thing, that it was a powerhouse. But it's been power crept. Sadly, people say that it's been power crept. I don't think so. I just think people are trying to pilot it the same way. This is a really fun card. I think you should build a commander deck with it and see if you can do it in your own way, or if you can do it in my way. Unblockable creatures, draw cards. It's fun. And I truly do think this is a deck that you should build because politics can be fun. You just got to do it right.
It's called Maskwood Nexus. I remember the card. I know we're late, but I remembered it was Maskwood Nexus, and I think it's with Valdalkin or Ori. Anyways,
All your creature spells, all your spells have flash. Yes, Vidalcanori.
anyways, listen, I'm so sorry, but it hit me, and I was like, I'm gonna wait for him to finish. But no, Edric here.
Yeah,
I just took the spotlight. But yes, Edric here is like he said, it is very important. It is a card that enters and immediately shifts the game plan while everyone was attacking you for their own beneficial gain or whatever. When this hits the board, the first thing that people look at is, oh, okay, you might be drawing cards, and I don't like that. But you know what I like more? When I draw cards.
yeah.
There people might have shooken hands, be like, I won't want to interact with your board if you don't interact with mine. But with this, they're like, you know what? If I interact enough, I attack you guys, not him, because I don't, or not that controller or the owner, because I won't draw cards off of him. But if I attack the other two, I'm gonna start drawing cards. I could get more cards, more stuff out, and eventually win the game. So it is kind of like a double-edged sword. Yes, you get to draw cards, but your opponents will as well. But I mean, this is what Commander eventually becomes when you become, when you start playing a little bit higher level. Politics does play a role into Commander. It is fun when you play with friends, but if you play a little bit more competitively, that's different. But we're not here talking about that. We're just gonna talk about Idris. But yeah, this card does change how your other opponents will be playing. They'll probably be playing even more aggressively, even though that's, maybe not their play style, but they want to get those extra cards. Maybe they play color combinations that don't have draw engines. They play white. Now, black does have draw engines, but it's usually at the cost of life. And up to a certain point, you just can't, spend any more life. But with this, you could just start hitting people and get cards. So yeah, this is such a fun deck.
What you
Now,
got? What you got?
now I did talk about this card, but it got an upgrade. It is Atraxa Grand Unifier. Yes, Atraxa Grand Unifier is what the hell, 5, 6, 7. This is a 7-man commander for the for
Oh my god. Oh my
for
god. Nice. Nice job, man.
for three
Oh
generic,
god.
a green, white, a blue, and a black. It is a Phyrexian Angel. You get a 7/7 flying vigilance, death touch, lifelink. It is a lot of mana. It is a huge card. This is very oppressive. Like, I know I did say with Edric you want to attack your opponents, but once you have this out, no one wants to attack you because this kills everything and it's big. It's a 7/7. So people
Oh
will
yeah.
probably just try to avoid you. They can kill spell it, but this is what Atraxa has, which makes her better than the other Atraxa. I love both, but this one's this one clearly is better. It says when Atraxa Grand Unifier enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each card type, you may put a card of that type from among the revealed cards into your hand, and then you put the rest at the bottom in a random order. So for those who are still confused about what this means, because I get it. You reveal 10, and let's say you got a couple of lands, instants, sorceries, mana rocks, enchantments. So you add one of each. You can add one land, one instant, one sorcery, one artifact, one creature, yada yada. That essentially it could refill your hand. So it's not like Thraxmundar enters at attacks, but it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't really benefit you, it doesn't help you. With this, you could look at the top 10 cards, assemble interaction, assemble win cons. It pretty much does a little bit of everything. You could flicker it too. So
Oh yeah.
with white, with blue, you could crazy flicker with Displacer Kitten, and you could even food chain this with Miss Hollow Griffin or Eternal Scourge. I guess I'm already explaining into it. Just I have to get all the cards together. Nice job, Taiga. So what you get is Eternal Scourge or Mist Hollow Griffin. And what happens is with Food Chain, you get to exile the creature and add X mana of any one color, where X is that creature's mana value plus one. So with Eternal Scourge, it's 3 mana. You exile it, you get 4. But with Eternal Scourge and Mist Hollow Griffin, you could pass those creatures from exile, making it infinite mana, essentially, of all the colors you need, and then just keep on playing Atraxa and get everything from your deck and just find a win from there.
Yeah, it's a very fun card. I remember this card being revealed during spoiler season. I think it was gosh, what was it? I don't remember what year it was, but for Exile we won. It was an interesting set, and for this to be released and spoiled, it's crazy. It's really it's just I mean saying crazy is kind of putting it out in a weird way, but honestly that's just kind of what it is. It's crazy. It's good, crazy good. It's a little bit of a high mana value, so if you're gonna use it as commander, it's a high curve you have to put in. But honestly, if you're already accounting for it, it's pretty easy to put this out. Yeah, honestly, I think it's pretty dang good piece. Pretty dang good piece.
Now, that is going to be enough about Atraxa. Atraxa does a lot of things, so there's a lot to talk about Atraxa, but we're not here for CEDH. We're not here to. I know I did it, but I like the card. I
Yeah.
don't want to take away your spotlight. Let's talk about the final card do you have for us?
So the last card I have for you has a story behind it, and it's I know I've been telling stories left and right, but this is honest. This is one of my favorite stories because I still have this deck and I still upgrade it every time a set comes out. I look at different green cards and
Okay,
check for it. So
I know the story. Yeah, okay, go.
so um when so it was years ago when Mystery Booster came out. If you don't know what that is, it was just like a box where it was just a bunch of different random cards and packs. And it was Mystery Booster, and we could draft. We were drafting with a couple of friends of mine, or a couple. A draft was like 5 people, but we did a draft. And I opened this card with like 3 or 4 other big green pieces, like Defense of the Heart, um, Beastmaster Ascension, so I looked at these 3 cards that I drafted. I'm like, oh yeah, because these were in my open packs. Every time I opened a pack, it was one of those cards. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm building a green deck. And boom, my green deck is born. I still have it. I still play it. It got run over by a car. And I still have it. I have it triple sleeved because the dents are kind of noticeable if you don't have it triple sleeved. It got run over by a car because someone stole my bag. Someone stole my bag out of my car because it's a computer bag. I have my when I had it in bag, I had it in a computer bag. So I'm assuming someone opened my door and was like, "Oh yeah, computer." Walked down the street, saw that it was a wooden box, and went, "I don't know what the fuck this is." Toss it to the side of the road. Um, got right hit. Got it legitimate. I'm not joking. I will send pictures if you want. It did get hit by a car. It got run over. All the cards are bent, which was it made me really sad at first because it was an expensive deck. I had some expensive ass cards in there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I was like, I don't give a fuck, dude. It's my deck. I'm not gonna take it apart and sell it. The fact that it got run over builds a character.
Like,
Um,
God, it was just character development.
Character development of the deck. Yeah, no, I love this card not just because of the sentimental value, but it also wins me games. This is a strong card.
Yep, you beat
If you
my
build the
ass a
deck
couple of
right.
times.
Yeah, this is a great card. It's Selvala, Heart of the Wilds. That's enough stories. Selvala, Heart of the Wilds. 1 mana and 2 green. It's a legendary elf scout. That's 2/3 body. Whenever another creature, so not it, whenever another creature enters the battlefield, its controller may draw a card if its power is greater than each other creature's power. Now, looking at that, you think that's kind of lame. You know, if someone casts a 10/10 when I have a 9/9, they draw a card. I don't want that. Which, sure, that could happen, but it never will because with the next ability, you can pay one green. You can pay a single green. Add X mana in any combination of colors to your mana pool, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control.
I hate it.
Turn 3 or turn 4, I already have like 7 or 8 power on the board, and then by turn 4 or 5, I have I have an army that's just big, tough creatures, and then I cast either an overrun effect or Triumph of the Hordes, and it's over. This card is fast. It runs like a well-oiled machine. I have so many cards that say whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card, and then I also have, if you look at my last appearance on this channel, I had Mobilize, on that card, which is untap all creatures you control. Boom, one green. I had 10 more mana. Guess what? I have 18 mana because I spent one to untap it, one to cast it, or one to tap it, and then one to untap it. It's this is a powerhouse. If you look at it and you think weak, think again. This will win me games all the time to the untrained eye. I love going to new LGSs in my area, driving an hour to different towns, and then boom, I show up. I just say, oh, it's my big green stompy deck. It's pretty powerful, but anyone that says that, they know they're fucking lying. Not me. I'm not a liar. I only lie to you when it benefits me, which I'm doing now. It's great. This card stomps because you cast fast, you cast big, you cast fast, and you cast unstoppable. You use bad cards in any other deck like Gigantosaurus, which is 5 green for a 10/10. Nah, buddy, you run that in this deck to have 10 power on the bird by turn 4. 10 power turn 4. You run Galta. You run the weird cards that have extremely high power for super low cost. Would they have like a huge downside, like Sheltering Ancient, the weird artifact Lupus Wolf. I don't know what the hell it's called. Where it's like a 5/3 for 2 mana, but you have to like discard your hand to attack with it. You run those cards. Guess what? You have power on the board. You can cast huge creatures, swing out, use those creatures for mana, cast other big spells, cast Song of the Dryads, Lignify, um, just cast the big stuff, cast the Praetors. It I'm gonna stop. I can just keep going. This card is
No, no,
great,
no, it's
and
fine. Just
yeah.
like he said, this card, this not card, but the deck, yeah, it runs as well as the card that ran this bitch over. This is a very explosive deck. I saw, and when you see mono green again, you think of what? Colossal Dreadmaw and be like, ah, funny card. No, this shit is very scary. I've done it before, and I usually try to do it as fast as I can, is get rid of Sylvala. Because
Oh
after
yeah.
playing
Oh
a
yeah.
couple of times, I know what it does. This motherfucker be cheating. He always has one of these green tutor to look for a card and gets that one creature that's a land. The motherfucker be cheating, always has it in his opening hand. But yeah, this is a very strong deck, very big, chunky cards that you could get here. So much mana that you could get Craterhoof Behemoth Finale of Devastation. Like just it just goes off. Very strong. Uh very like it's a big surprise. It's a big skill check. That is what it is. Because people are just gonna ignore you because you have green. What can you have? Ramp? What's ramp gonna do? But I mean, they don't expect it. You have Triumph of the Horse, like you said. Make sure to swing out big and heavy. Infect, take everybody out. It is, yeah, very nice and strong. You could probably also run Heroic Intervention to give your things
Oh
indestructible
yeah.
and hexproof and stuff like that. But yeah, very good, very good pick. Now, like I said, this was the last card for your pick. I'm kind of cheating.
It was. It
I'm
was.
kind of cheating for my last card because it's kind of two cards, but not really. And we'll talk about it right now. Let's go with Norman Osborn. That is the card that I have for my list. This is a card,
Oh
this is a deck that I
yeah.
actually built. And I'll tell you guys why I built it in a bit. Let's talk about the card. So, Norman Osborn was from the Spider Man set. Probably not the best set, but it is for one in a blue. You get a legendary creature, human scientist villain. It is a 1/1 and it says Norman Osborn can't be blocked. And it also says whenever Norman Osborn deals combat damage to a player, he connives, which is you draw a card, discard a card. If you discarded a non-land card, you could put a +1/+1 counter on him. Now, like I said, the reason that I'm technically cheating with my last card is because he is a flip card as well, which the backside is Green Goblin. For one in a Grixis, so 4 mana, you get a legendary Goblin Human Villain. It is a 3/3 Flying and Menace, and it says spells you cast from your graveyard cost 2 less to cast. It also has Goblin Formula, which each non-land card in your graveyard has Mayhem. The Mayhem cost is equal to its mana cost. So like you could, if you discard a card, you could cast a card as long as Green Goblin was on the field. It sees it. So the thing is, with this card, you can cast either side. You don't have to go Norman Osborn and then transform into Green Goblin. You could just go straight into Green Goblin. The reason I said that I built this deck is, like Ghost said here, he beat my ass and I didn't like it. Because I was playing Atraxa at the time, the Grand Unifier, and she is a little bit of a slower deck. She needs time to build up, and that is kind of not of a great match against Sylvala since Sylvala is very fast. So while it took me time to get my resources, I couldn't find my win cons. So then Ghost just kind of whooped my ass, and I was like, oh, I'm I have fun when I win, so I'm making this deck. But this is a relatively quicker deck. It is a Grixis deck, and I'm just gonna tell you real quick. It goes with a bunch of graveyard stuff. You want to wheel a bunch. Wheel of Fortune, Windfall, Wheel of Misfortune, Careful Study, Faithless Looting. You want to discard cards and draw cards. Because if you discard, example, your Talisman, Arcane Signet, Soul Ring, you could cast those for free. And a Lion's Eye Diamond just pretty much becomes a Black Lotus. You Lion's Eye Diamond, effect,
God damn.
sacrifice it.
You can afford LEDs up in this bitch? God damn.
I'll the proxy will be showing up, and I'll show you my proxy. But
Nice. Yeah,
but
yeah. I know, I know.
the fucking Pokemon card. But yes, this is a much faster deck, and yeah, I was butthurt, and I still am,
So
which is
so
why I made this.
what I'm hearing is my green deck turned you into the Green Goblin.
Yes, exactly.
Oh man.
Yes, I will get this deck ready, and probably a little spoiler that I will be doing. I probably will be doing deck techs eventually in the future. I'll try to show off decks either that I've made or online, talk about them. But I mean, that's for another time. But yeah, this is a deck that's very fun, whether it's competitive or not. It is a bunch of graveyard stuff, which I mean, the colors that it's in, it's not something that it's easy for them to do to bring back. Yeah, you can reanimate or dread return, but that's mostly for creatures, and you don't really like discarding cards. But this, you actually encouraged to discard cards. You make things cost less, and you could just pretty much cheat out mana. One of the cards that I added here was Psychic Frog, which is from Modern Horizons 3 for a
Oh,
black
I
and
love that
blue.
guy.
Yeah, a funky little guy. Uh,
Yeah.
all I know is for him, you could discard a card, put a +1/+1 counter on him, and then you can exile 3 cards from a graveyard to give him flying. Probably not as important, but you could pump the frog and essentially just fill up your graveyard. Like I said, if you have an Arcane Signet, discard it to the frog and then cast it for free. Or if you have a Windfall, discard it to the frog. And then for 1 blue, just wheel away all the stuff that you have and then draw a brand new hand of, let's just say 7 to keep it simple. And then you could just keep on going and spinning, getting stuff, like I said, cheating out mana because everything is so much cheaper. So this deck was pretty much made because I got skill checked a little bit too hard.
Hey man, you live and learn.
You live and
That's what
learn.
gets you better at Magic. That's
That
what
is
gets you better
true.
at Magic.
That is true. But I think that's everything. We talked about the cards that you love. You are a professional yapper, but I mean the people will love it. We're putting in cards that we like, and it's not every not every card. I think we were creative enough. Maybe not me with the whole Atraxa thing, but I feel like we had enough cards that people probably don't know about. Just bringing new stuff to the table.
Yeah, I agree. I did see some cards from you that I didn't. I mean, I didn't look too hard at the Spider-Man set because I kind of forgot it existed. I know it was being spoiled everywhere. I didn't know Norman Osborn was a card. I got really excited for a second because I saw a 2 mana unblockable creature, and then I was like, oh no, fuck, it's Grixis. I can't put it in my Edric deck. Yeah, Atraxa, you did run that, and the Thraxamundar, that's a throwback, dude. That's a good memory right there.
But anyways, I think that's it. I had my little moment of weakness. At least you guys know that I can count. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys another time.
All right, thanks for having me on, man. This is great.
Anytime.